Halloween, you guys, and welcome back to the 10 Days of Halloween challenge with I myself, the original Renegade. So today we're back with another spooky video for you guys on our journey through the 10 Days of Halloween. Now, for those of you who maybe haven't watched any of the prior videos, I do suggest you do go back and watch them, just because I do give a more in-depth overview of why I'm doing this challenge and everything like that. But as per usual, I am just going to put in here that this is not my challenge. It was a challenge that was set out by one of my favourite actors, which is the lovely Mr. Thomas Dekker. So he did this a few years ago. These are his categories, his thing. I just thought it was about time that I resurrected it, because it's been a few years and I never actually got around to doing this challenge. So, super excited about that. So we are on day number 6 of the 10 days. We are getting closer to Halloween, guys. I am in a witchy vibe right now, so I've got my Witch Please top on and, you know, nice dark lipstick, which is what we need for this. Now, I'm not wearing a witch's hat because, let's face it, that was so 2016, am I right? So, anyway, we're going to crack on. I'm going to give you the 3 films in my 3 categories for the 10 Days of Halloween. Just to give you a quick reminder, 3 categories are the beat-off category, the show-off category, and the laugh-off category. So for those of you who have been here for all other 5 days until this one, thank you very much for being here. For those of you who've just joined us, go back to day 1 and see what it's all about. So anyway, I'm going to crack on with my pad so I don't waffle on. So, my beat-off movie today is the 1987 cult classic, in my opinion, The Lost Boys. Now, it is a horror comedy. It's not meant to be scary. It is a comedy, right? It is, quite frankly, the epitome of the 80s for me. Like, it is the most 80s film you've ever come across. It's got ludicrous fashion, it's got bonkers hairstyles. Like, Kiefer Sutherland, his punk character David is a complete and utter standout. He is one of my favourite characters. You know, he's just so amazing in it, and I love it, and it is one of my favourites. Now, it did completely overhaul the whole vampire thing. Completely overhauled it, because before, you know, it used to be this whole thing about aristocracy and aristocrats in dusty old mansions with powdered wigs and all that lot. That's kind of typically, before this film came out, what vampire movies were all about. Like the big hairdos and the Dracula-esque kind of long robes and very high class people who were maybe plucking the lesser people in society off the streets. But this movie completely overhauled it. Completely overhauled it. It turned it into something that was young and sexy, with these, you know, hedonistic biker guys, and, you know, like, it just made it very sexy, and it is the epitome of a vampire comedy for me, personally. And it's got a banging 80s soundtrack. Banging. Like, honestly, it's got one of my favourite songs on the soundtrack, you know, Thou Shalt Not Kill and all that lot. Love it. If you haven't heard that song, then do go and check that out as well. It was my ringtone for a while, but it is just such a good movie. It's hilarious. It's about these 2 guys who try and save their town, essentially, from David and his motorcycle gang of vampires who are trying to turn everyone into vampires. And it's just fun, and it's classic, and like I say, it's just completely rocked the genre, in my opinion. So do check that out if you haven't already. Now, for my show-off movie, it's going to be the 1973 original Wicker Man. Now, I know they remade this with Nicolas Cage in the back end of, you know, sort of 2008-ish, 9-ish kind of time. I didn't like the remake personally. I'm always true to the originals. But it is a British mystery horror film. Now, mystery horrors I do quite enjoy, because I always want to find out what's gone on and why. You know, I also obviously love the fact it's British, because I myself am British, and I think our film industry is pretty good, to be perfectly honest. It's got Christopher Lee in it. He plays the island leader. It's about this Sergeant Howie who receives a letter, like this mysterious letter about a girl that's gone missing on an island, and he goes to investigate, basically. And she's disappeared. She's on a remote island in the Outer Hebrides, you know, hence why it's in England and what have you. And it's got a lot of pagan Celtic themes in it, basically. It's this thing where he goes to this island and they're very, very much closed off from most people, and like I say, they're Celtic pagan. So anyway, it turns out that Sergeant Howie fits their 4 gods requirements. Now, I'm not going to list them off now because it's going to take too long, but basically he fits the bill, and their harvests have been failing, everything like that, so they're going to sacrifice him. So they do, but it is such a good mystery horror, and it's like, it's that whole, I'm sure you've seen the image of the Wicker Man and everything like that. I'm not going to give too much away. I mean, you know, you're going to have to watch it to be honest, but it is just really good. It keeps you on the edge of your seat, you're not quite sure what's going on. I love it. Like I say, it's a mystery, yeah, horror, and I do like a bit of mystery every so often, so do check that out if you can, if you haven't already seen it. Now, for my laugh off category, which is my last category. Shut up, Siri, please. What is wrong with you? He's not even plugged in at the minute. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, so for my last category, which is the laugh off category, I'm going with The Witches of Eastwick, which is a 1987 film. Now, that's what's inspired my witchy look today, is the fact that it is one of my all-time favourite movies. It does have Jack Nicholson in it, who again is one of my all-time favourite actors. Now, it's also got Cher, it's got Sarah Sarandon, and it's got Michelle Pfeiffer. Like, power trio. Power trio. How can you not? So they play these 3 women who are all friends. They're all very, very different, but they turn out to be witches. Jack Nicholson, he plays this guy called Daryl Van Horn, who moves to town and starts to seduce and date every single one of these 3 women. Okay, so crazy things are happening. It's just super funny. It's, like I say, I can't give too much away because I really, really, really want you to watch it, but Jack Nicholson is amazing. Amazing. Like, he's so, I don't even know what to describe it like, but he's so intense and amazing, and it's just so funny, and it's a real good feel-good movie. It's a kick-ass woman movie. It's kind of like girls against this guy, and it's really, really killer, and I absolutely love it. I watch it all the time, not even at Halloween, I watch it all the time because it is so good. So I would definitely recommend that for you guys. That is, like I say, my laugh off movie. So that's all I've got for you today, I'm afraid. So that does conclude day 6. Now, hopefully you will join me tomorrow for day number 7, because we are creeping ever closer to the night of All Hallows Eve. So, until next time, my little freaks and squeaks, I hope you have some pleasant dreams, and I am going to check you later. So check ya.